We just got another new chapter of My Dress Up Darling, so it's time for another chapter review. Okay, so I was going to talk about the newest chapter and then go into my predictions about how I feel Season 2 will go, but cutestuff convinced me to split it up into 2 videos. Don't worry, the other one is coming soon. We've been working ahead and I've found a ton of new manga that I want to talk about. Anyway, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. The chapter begins showing that we've had another time skip. We're now in spring, about a year after the events in the first chapter. Marin and Gojo are now second years, and Shinju-chan is a first-year high schooler. She was able to get a part-time job to help pay for cosplay, and for her cosplay debut, she, along with Marin, Miyako, and Amane, all dress up as characters from Flower Princess Blaze. To avoid confusion, I'll be showing who is cosplaying who. Marin cosplays as Sakuya, Miyako as Nikaido, Amane cosplays as Mirai, and Shinju is recurring her role as Soma. Okay, now that you know, let's get to the meat of the story. The first few pages are just the friends getting together and enjoying a cosplay event. Some teasing, some perversion. Let's be honest, Suzuka is the biggest pervert in the series, but we love her because at least she's honest. And some anger from Juju-chan about people breaking character on camera. But then the conversation turns to Marin's cosplay at Winter Comiket. Apparently, the excitement and speculation still hasn't died down 4 months after the event. Winter Comiket happens in the week between Christmas and New Year's, and the new school year starts at the beginning of April. Sajuna is now a third year, so she's going to take it easy with cosplay. Also, she's not a fan of group cosplays, especially after the trauma of the last one. The fact that people are still talking about Marin's cosplay of Archangel Haniel prompts Amane to inform Marin about his interaction with a certain magazine publisher. Oftentimes, magazines will feature cosplayers. We've seen several real-world examples of cosplayers dressed up as Marin, and the characters Marin has played. As far as I know, these were published in Young Gangan, the same magazine that Sono Bistal is published in. Anyway, back to the chapter. Amane informs everyone that this guy recognized Marin from her rose costume during the coffin shoot. You know, the same one that traumatized poor Sajuna. The others ask Amane how the conversation went, and Amane said that he blocked the guy. Amane also went for the nuclear option. Not only was the guy blocked, Amane deleted the entire DM thread and removed the pictures from the coffin event from his social media. He goes on to explain that because Marin hasn't posted any photos from the Winter Comiket, he was standing in solidarity. Remember, she was only 15 at the time. Amane goes on to explain that this wasn't his first encounter with that publisher. He had reached out before asking if Amane was interested in doing Gravier Idol work, but Amane turned down the offer due to being a man. But this time was different. Amane felt that the publisher was giving off creepy vibes. Additionally, Amane wants to do cosplay as a hobby. There's a difference between doing something you love and doing it for work. I love talking about anime and manga, and this channel allows me to do it professionally. And I also love breaking down stories into their component pieces so that I can better understand them. Through doing that, it helps me appreciate stories even more. But if I had to do this as a job, if I was forced to do literary analysis for some story that I hate, that would be awful. Quick aside, many of you have heard of Rule 34, but some of you don't know that there are over 100 other rules for the internet. You should read through them sometime. The one I want to focus on is Rule 19. The more you hate it, the stronger it gets. This is why I don't talk about my least favorite anime or manga on this channel. While some of the series I talk about might not be very good, I at least got some joy out of reading or watching them. Just because something is bad doesn't mean it's not fun. But if a series isn't fun and isn't good, I'll just avoid talking about it altogether. Another example for me is cooking. I love to cook for friends and family. I don't go out to eat that often because the food I make at home is usually tastier than what I can get at a restaurant. I don't say that to brag, I'm just stating a fact. Ask anyone who's had my butter chicken or Cajun Alfredo. The problem is, while at culinary art school, I discovered that I hate cooking for strangers and jerks, so my friends and family get to benefit from my training. And it appears that most of the cosplayers that Marin had started to hang out with feel the same. Okay, rant over. As an adult, Miyako understands where this publisher is coming from. His goal is to make more sales for his magazine. More sales means more business, which means that he gets to keep the magazine in circulation. As much as we talk about manga being an art form, it is a business, and businesses need to make money. While some people would jump at the idea of turning their hobby into a career, others find the idea horrifying. Marin remembers how relentless her editor is at times. Aside from that, as a hobbyist, everyone in the group gets to decide what they want to cosplay as. There's a certain amount of freedom that comes from keeping it as a hobby. But a professional needs to not only stay in immaculate shape, they have to wear what they're told, even if they wind up cosplaying as a character they hate. And so, the group decides to just keep this as a hobby. As Marin runs off to find a restroom, though, she runs into the first boy to take her picture at Comiket. She thought about calling out to him, but realized that it would be awkward. After all, she looks nothing like she did at Winter Comiket. It would just confuse the poor boy. So instead, she just leaves him be. Marin has already declared that this is just a hobby for her. And what need does a hobbyist have for fans? Especially after Marin already wound up with a fan like Akira. This brings us to the end of Chapter 113. The next chapter will post towards the end of February, so expect another video around then. But don't worry, my Dress Up Darling fans, we are getting a Season 2 this year. And my video covering my predictions airs later this week, so make sure you're subscribed. What do you think will happen in Chapter 114? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to Meta to Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Borgie, Nazwin, Konga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, William, Pye, Kazaris, Booksuit, Patrick, Naffy, Noodle, Tiz, Art, Richard, Devin, Lucius, Sint, Boomy, and Freya. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.